episode of the How I Kio-chan. Before I begin with the questions, I just have a couple things I'd like to mention. The first being a shout out to Shooting Star 123. I want to thank you so much for telling everybody about my show, and I want to mention that she has her own show on YouTube called The Daily Life of a Cosplayer. If you haven't already checked it out, I recommend you do because it's a really great show. I also want to mention to all my viewers, if you're going to ask generalized questions, please ask questions that everybody will enjoy. Don't ask random questions for the sake of asking random questions. And thirdly, the next week's episode of the How I Kio-chan will be a Kayako edition. So if you have any questions for Kayako, please submit them and I'll get some in the next episode. With that all being said, let me get right into the questions. My first question comes from Toast Weasel Doom, and Toast Weasel Doom asks, does Kio-chan mean anything? How did you come up with it? The name Kio-chan really doesn't mean anything, it's just a nickname. When the members of Shitaka Productions were coming up with nicknames for each other, Tara-chan took the first 3 letters of my character's name Kayako and added Chan after it. That's where my nickname came from. My second question comes from Gara Kazekage, and Gara Kazekage asks, who is your favorite Naruto character? My favorite Naruto character is Itachi. My third question comes from Rino Kusaki, and he asks, if you could marry a Final Fantasy VII character, who would you marry, excluding Cloud? I had to think about this for a while, actually, and it's good for me. I actually pay attention to Final Fantasy VII. If I couldn't pick Cloud, I'd probably pick Kadaji. I think I pronounced that right, but I'm not too sure. I picked him for 2 reasons. One, because of his looks, and secondly, for his personality. I seem to be attracted to all those evil characters, so that's why I picked him. My fourth question comes from Abbott, and he asks, how did Kyo come across the creation of her character? When I watch a series for the first time, I usually come up with ideas to make my own characters, so when I make fan fictions, I can put my characters into my stories. And Naruto's no different. When I was thinking of creating a character for Naruto, I was thinking that there aren't that many female Uchihas in the series, and I thought, why not make one? So when I was making Kayako, I took a lot of personality traits and elements from a lot of different characters, including the Sannin, Itachi, Sasuke, and Naruto, and I just put them all together, and that's how I came up with the idea of Kayako. My fifth question comes from Glycerna, and she asks, am I a good sister? Of course you're a good sister. Why are you even asking me that question? You're the sweetest thing in the world and I love you to death. So don't doubt yourself for a minute. You're the greatest sister in the world. My next question comes from Itaki, and he asks, am I too evil? And if I am, is that a bad thing? I really can't judge how evil you are, but I say you're going toward the evil side. Is that a bad thing? Well, if you push it too far, it can become a bad thing. That's my only answer for you. My next set of questions come from Shooting Star 123, and she asks, have you been to any cons? I've been to a couple of cons. I actually only go to Anime Festival in New York City and Anime Next. Those are the only ones I really had the time and the money to go to, but I would really like to go to other ones, like the one in February in Rochester, New York, but I really don't think I'll be able to break away from my schedule or to have enough money to actually make the trip. Her next question is, how did you put all your hair in that wig? As you guys know, I have really long hair, and it's really annoying to get long hair into a short wig. But let me tell you how I do it. First, what you're going to need. You're going to need either a comb or a brush. Either one really doesn't matter. You're also going to need 4 of these little hair ties, bobby pins, and if your hair isn't straight already, you're going to need a straightening iron. So your first step is to brush out your hair and make sure there are no knots in it. Once you do that, you're going to part it down the middle like so. Once you do that, you're going to take either the right or the left side of your hair and you're going to make a small ponytail on the back of your head. Once you do that, you're going to braid it. I wish I could show you guys this part, but I really don't know how to braid my hair and my mom usually does this part for me. Bear with me. So you're going to braid your hair and then you're going to tie it at the bottom with another one of those hair ties. Then you're going to do the same thing with the other side. Once you finish that, you're going to take either side. I'll start with my left, and you will pull it behind your head and around until it's up on top, like this. Okay? Then you will use the bobby pins and you'll just clip it up to the top of your head. Then you'll do the same thing with the other side, except you're going to go in the opposite direction. So then it'll look something like that, and you'll just bobby pin it up, and there you go. That's how I do it. If you guys want a tutorial video about how to actually do this, please let me know in a comment, and I'll make one when I have time. But you have to ask for one, because I won't make one unless you want one. I just hope my explanation was good enough for you guys to follow, and I hope it was helpful. And my last question comes from my mom, KAT52891, if you didn't already know. And her question is, where are the babies? Why haven't they been on the show? For all those who don't know what she's talking about my two little kitties. I've raised them since they were 2 months old, and I treat them as though they were my children. So let me take a minute, and let me go upstairs, and let me show you my children. As promised, I'm showing you my babies. This is one of them. His name is Stripey, and he's 9 years old. And if you notice that little scar on his side, that actually came from surgery. He just had surgery to remove a tumor. Unfortunately, he does have skin cancer, but he's such a sweetie pie. Brainy, say hi. Here he is. And then there's my other kitty over here. His name is Goldie. And they're brothers, even though they don't look it. He's also 9 years old, and he's a Manx. Isn't he a cute little boy? Yeah. He's Mommy's favorite. So, those are my two babies. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing them as much as I enjoy showing them to you. And I want to thank you guys again for watching this episode of the How and Why of Kio-chan. And I hope to see you guys next week. So, post those questions, and I'll see you then. Later.